Hello all, my name is Sash Kumar. I welcome you to GITAM series of in-chat videos. Today we are going to discuss word analogy. So what are the objectives of this session? By the end of this session, you will be able to understand what word analogies are, and you'll also understand how to establish a logical connection between the given keywords, and you will get a chance to practice a few word analogy questions. Now, to begin with, I would like to give you a quiz. What do you think is the relationship between intelligent and intelligence? In analogy language, this is read as is to. Is to. Now, intelligence is to intelligent. Now, what do you think is the relation between these two words? Intelligent, intelligence, as in patient, patience, as in brilliant, brilliance. Can you answer the next one? What do you think is the relationship between boy and girl? Boys to girl, as in man is to women. Water is to gas, as in gas is to vapor. Puppy is to dog, as in kitten is to cat. Love is to hate. Love is to hate. Now, can you try to establish a relation, an analogy between these two words in these five pairs of words? Let me make the job easy for you. Now, do you see these five options on the right side of your screen? Now, ask yourself, how can I match the left side options numbered 1 to 5 with the right side options named A to D? How can I match them? How can I match them? Think about it. You can pause the video and think a minute. Intelligent is to intelligence. This belongs to adjective to noun category. See, intelligent is adjective. Intelligence is a noun. So this belongs to adjective to noun category. This analogy belongs to. Now can you try the rest four questions? You're right. Boys to girl. This belongs to opposite gender analogy. Okay. Now let's try the next one. Water is to gas. This belongs to one state to another state analogy. Okay. One state to another state analogy. Now I'm sure you must have understood now, and I'm sure you must have answered 4 and 5. Puppy is to dog. This is young version to adult version analogy. Love is to hate. Understand, love and hate are antonyms. Therefore, antonym analogies. I request you to take a screenshot. Now, what did you learn from this slide? We understood number one, to build a connection between the keywords. We also understood the category they belong to. Please take a screenshot. This will help you in the future. Now, let me take you through the next slide. What is a word analogy? What is a word analogy? By the way, the question itself has the answer. It has words to read and establish a connection between them. And how do we establish that connection? Analogy. Analogy is relation. We try to understand the relation between the given keywords. Now let's see what the definition says. A word analogy is a vocabulary problem that you solve. As the title says, it has words. So you should read these words and understand them. Next, as I told you, as I showed you in the quiz, it has a pair of keywords. Okay, like this. See, I call this pair a keyword. These are keywords. This pair. Okay. Now I want you to establish a connection between these two. You can either establish from soldier to army or vice versa. Okay. Now we must understand that from which choice from the given options, which choice when placed in the blank makes the right pair as to the given keywords. Say for example, I try to establish a connection. A soldier is a part of an army. A soldier is a part of an army. This is the relation. This is the analogy. Now look at the options: cat, litter, puppy, meow. Which one, if I place it in the blank, which one if I place it in the blank? Okay, this is the blank. Then this should become the pair which is very much similar to the given keywords. Okay, a soldier is a part of a soldier is a part of an army. A kitten is a part of, definitely not cat. A kitten is not a part of a cat. A kitten when grows becomes a cat. So this this logic doesn't fit with the logic that I gave you here. A soldier is a part of an army. A soldier is a part of an army. Okay. Now, a kitten is a part of a cat? No. A kitten is a part of a puppy? No. A kitten is not part of a puppy. Is a kitten part of a meow? No. Meow is the sound that a cat makes. A cat mews, right? Now, look at this. A kitten is a part of a litter. Therefore, B is your answer. So I'm sure by now you understood what a word analogy is. A word analogy is a vocabulary based problem. It has a pair of words, we call them keywords. Now what do? We establish a connection between these two words. How do we establish connection? We learned here that the establishment can come from this category. Opposite gender analogy, it can be opposite gender analogy, object to noun analogy, young version to adult version, one state to another, antonym analogies, we saw examples here, right? So in the further slides, what am I going to do? I'm going to give exposure. I'm going to give exposure towards various other analogy categories. Okay. So what happens in the exam when you see a question, you can ask yourself, what category does this belong to? The moment you know that yes, this question belongs to a certain category, you can answer it easily, right? Now let's move on. So this is how the question looks. If it is put in a normal texting language, or I don't say texting, I'm sorry. If it's put in a normal language, okay, written language, it might look like this. If A is related to B in a certain way, what is C related to? Now let me show you how analogy language works. If A is to B, if A, this part is to, if A is to B, if A is to B, this is as, okay. If A is to B as, C is to what? C is to what? This is how the question looks in your exam, in SAT exams, okay. Now let's move on. If A is to B as, C is to what? Okay. So what abilities do you need? Very simple. You should understand the given words. Number two, you should be able to deduce a relation. You should be able to understand the existing relation between these two words in the analogy. Next, you should draw logical conclusions, right? Basing on the given options, basing on the given keywords, you should draw a logical conclusion and then you should answer it. Now, when you understand the categories of analogies, your job becomes easier, which is why today we are discussing the categories of analogies, and of course we are going to discuss a few questions at the end. Now, keyboard type, telephone. Now look at this. I'm going to give you a beautiful hint. Now when I show you the category of this analogy, your job becomes easier. Look at this. Object and its function analogy. Now what is the object here? Keyboard is the object. Agree? Keyboard is the object. Now what is its function? What is function? We type a keyboard, right? Now can you answer what is the function of a telephone? What is it primarily used for? To call. Therefore, your answer is call. Look at the next one. Brick wall page. When I show you the category, your job becomes easier. Look at this. Object and part of the whole analogy. Object and the part of the whole. This is whole, okay? This is whole. This is object. A brick is a part of a wall. In the same way, a page is a part of A book. See, when you know the category, your job becomes easier. Look at the next one. Itch, scratch, exhausted. Look at the category. When you have a problem, you need solution, right? This is problem solution analogy. When you feel itchy, you scratch. That provides a solution to your problem, right? When you're exhausted, what do you do to get better? Of course, when you're exhausted, you take rest. Problem and solution category. Okay? Look at the next one. See how easy your job is when you understand the categories. Look at the next one. Gun, weapons, red, what? Gun is to weapons as red is to what? Now look at the category. Object and classification analogy. Under what classification can I put gun, knives, bombs? Under the category of weapons, I can place guns, knives, bombs, etc. Right? Now look at this. Under what category can I put red, blue, green, yellow? You're right. Color. Right? Fantastic. Now let's move ahead. We have a few more slides to finish. Now, can you answer this? Deer, doe, horse, what's your answer? Look at the category. Male and female analogy. We know that deer is male version, doe is female version. Horse is male version of this equine animal. Now tell me what is the female version? Mare. So male and female analogy. Law and order. Bread and butter. Success and glory. This is called collocation order analogy. Fish and chips, right? Bread and butter, horse and carriage, law and order, name and fame, right? If you type in Google binary collocations, you will get this list. You might want to look at them. You can go and search. Shar, monsoon, hot. Now get your answer. Now look at the instruction. Degree of intensity. See, if it's very mild, we say it's drizzling. If it's more than mild, we say it's showering. Shower. It's a little more than drizzle. If it's heavily raining, I can say it's monsoon. Right? Now look at the intensity. Warm. When I increase the intensity, it becomes hot. When I increase the intensity, it becomes scorching. Right? So that's my answer. Now I request you all to pause the video and take a note of this categories of analogies because this is going to help you a lot in your real INSAT exam. Look at this. Love is to admire. Hate is to. Now think about it. Think about it. Love is to admire. Don't you think love and admire are synonyms? Now I want synonym of hate. Can you think of a synonym of hate? You may pause the video and think. Think of a synonym of hate. Dislike. That's your answer. Pack wolves. Remember, pack wolves. When I see a group of wolves, what do I say? A pack of wolves. Right? A bunch of flowers. A fleet of ship. The same way a troop of monkeys. A murder of crows. Garage car. Garage is a place where cars are parked. Hangar is a place where airplanes are parked. Now look at the category. Now I jumbled the order of categories. Now can you look at the left side options named A to C and right side options named 1 to 3. Now can you match them? Can you match them? The first one is synonym analogy. And what about the next one? What about the next one? Can you try? You're right. Collective noun analogy. Collective noun. A college of students. A bunch of flowers. Collective noun analogy. Object and location analogy. Let me take you to the next slide. Acrophobia. Acro is height. Phobia is fear. Fear of heights. Hydro is water. Phobia is fear. Hydrophobia. Fear of water. Spin, dizzy. Work. Now, if you continuously spin, what happens? Of course, you feel dizzy. If you continuously work, what happens? Of course, you become exhausted. She is beautiful. What a beauty. Beautiful is adjective. Beauty is noun. Deep is adjective. Depth is noun. Now Now, can you match the left side options named A to C with the right side options numbered 1 to 3? Can you pause the video and try that? You're right. You're right. The first one is word definition analogy. Can you try the next one? Right. Cause and effect. If you spin, obviously you feel dizzy. If you work continuously, of course, that leads to exhaustion. Right? I think that see beautiful and beauty, we learned this in the first quiz, right? Intelligent, intelligence. We learned there, right? Deep, depth. Brilliant, brilliance. Okay. Now let's come to the practice session. Fecund. Fecund, infertile. What are they? Are they, which category do they belong to? They are opposites. Opposites. Fecund is to infertile. As what is to fleet? As what is to fleet? Now I want the opposite of fleet. I repeat, fecund and infertile are opposites. Antonym analogy. Now I want the opposite of fleet. By the way, fleet means to move fast. Fleet means to go rapidly. So what is the answer? I want the opposite. You're right. Answer is slow. Antonym analogy. Now quixotic, pragmatic. Quixotic, impractical. Quixotic, impractical. Pragmatic, practical. Again, opposites. Antonym analogy. I want the opposite of murky. Now think, what is the opposite of murky? Murky means muddy, dirty. Now I want the opposite. I want the opposite. I know your eyes are looking at the answer right now. The answer is clear. I want the opposite. None of the options fit in the blank, but clear. Look at this. Vapid. Please understand, rapid and swift are synonyms. They are synonyms. So therefore, I want synonym of vapid. I want the synonym of vapid. Look at this. Oh, I want the synonym of vapid. Inspired, no. Turgid means swollen. No. Wet, no. Insipid, yes. Insipid and vapid are synonyms. Vapid means dull, tasteless. Insipid means tasteless, dull. Therefore, that's your answer. Poetry, rhyme. Philosophy, blank. Poetry is to rhyme as philosophy is to what? Now, try to establish a connection. Don't you think a poetry is built basing on rhyme? Don't you think a poetry is built of rhyme? Of course, it has words, it has lines, excuse me. But primarily it has rhyming, right? That is what makes a poetry, right? Now philosophy. What is philosophy built on? Imaginary is creative, okay? Okay, imaginary is unreal. If someone is imaginative, he's creative. If something is imaginary, it's fictitious, it's unreal. Of course, you don't build philosophy on unreal things. You don't build philosophy based on music. It's not based on love. Sorry. Philosophy is built using a theory, very similar to poetry being built on rhyme. Look at this. Now try to establish a connection. Now basketball is a sport. What is diamond? Basketball is played basketball is played in a place called diamond. Like cricket is played in cricket ground, badminton is played in shuttle court, basketball is played in a place called diamond, right? It's because of its shape. Now look at the options. Now, do you think poker is played in a court? No. I don't think jury and grass are even sports. They don't belong to the category of sports. Squash is played in court. So this relation is very similar to basketball and diamond. Therefore, squash is my answer. Now look at the relation. What is to horse as board is to train? By the way, we board a train. We board a train in order to travel, right? Stable is a place where horses are kept, right? I don't think this is The same as board is to train. We board the train to travel. Okay. I don't think shoe and horse has any connection. We don't say shoes to horse. That doesn't make any logical sense. You ride a horse, fantastic. But if ride were to be your answer, it should be train drive. You drive a train, right? You drive a train. So you're not talking about driving a train, you're talking about boarding a train. Now look at this. You mount a horse. You physically get into a train in order to travel, and you physically mount a horse in order to ride a horse. Therefore, mount should be your answer. So last three questions. Sun is a part of nuclear. Okay, now see, when I don't have any idea, I look at all the options. So after I see father, mother, cousin, daughters, etc., I understand that this question is something related to family and relationships, right? Now see, nuclear extended. In what way are these words related to families? We say nuclear family, we say extended family, right? Son is a part of nuclear family. A son is a part of a nuclear family. Now, father also belongs to a nuclear family. Mother, see, a nuclear family basically has mom, dad, kids. That's it. So, mom, dad, and kids, they belong to nuclear family. But we need something that fits into extended family here. Cousins can fit into extended family, right? So tell me, if I, my mom, my wife, I, and my kids, if we are in a house, this can be a nuclear family. Typically it has mom, dad, and kids. Okay, that's it. But when it has cousins, it can be an extended family, right? Therefore the answer is cousins. Look at this. Zenith means the highest point. Okay, zenith means the highest point. When sun is at its when sun is at its highest position, that's zenith, the highest point. Fear and composure, what are they? Fear and composure, they're opposites. They are opposites. Fear and composure are opposites. So we need an opposite of zenith. So zenith means the highest point, right? The highest point. Now I want the opposite, which means I want something which means the lowest point. Now apex and zenith are synonyms, but I want the opposite. I want the opposite. I want the opposite. Nadir means the lowest point, right? Therefore, your answer is Nadir, the lowest and the highest. Fear, composure. Now, Nadir is to zenith as fear is to composure. Perfect pair, perfect analogy. The last two questions. Sewing is an activity that is fixed. That is fixed through mending. To mend is to repair. Sewing is an activity that is fixed, okay, through mending. Now, what is fixed through editing? Now ask yourself, what is fixed through editing? Sewing is fixed through mending. No, no, no. Manuscript is a handwritten notes. Okay, in order to make it perfect, you need to edit it. In order to fix the issues in the writing, you need to edit it. Therefore, manuscript is your answer. Implement rule, verdict. Now look at it very carefully. A rule is implemented. A rule is implemented. A verdict is, a rule is to implement. Rule is to implement as verdict is to what? Rule is to implement as verdict is to what? A verdict is not proposed. An idea is proposed. A verdict is not divided. A verdict is not taught. A verdict is rendered. The act of giving a judgment officially by the court is render. So a judgment is rendered. Verdict is rendered by court. Therefore, answer is render. With this, we have come to an end. We request you to put your doubts in the comments. We will respond. Also, in the live sessions, I'm going to interact with you. My name is Sash Kumar. Hope you understood this session. If you have any doubts, I suggest you that you watch this video again. Okay? Thank you so much.